Hi, I'm Dino Tripodis. What do you do when you got four moms that can rock? You start a band. Amee Belwanzo and TRASHETE. That's right. Tonight on Whiskey Business. Hi, I'm Dino Tripodis, and welcome to Whiskey Business, the podcast not so much about whiskey as it is one with whiskey. I was in a high school band. You were in a band, Hansberry?
Oh yeah,
a high school band.
Garage
but
band? we kind of were able to keep it going through college a little bit too.
Right.
Yeah.
So did we.
Yeah.
Except ours was a Greek American band.
Ooh.
We played Greek music and American music. Played every baptism, every baby shower, every wedding in the tri-state area.
Nice work.
And we kept the band going through my freshman year of college, and then somebody got uppity and decided to leave the band.
Was that you?
That was me. That was me.
Oh, imagine that. The difficult one.
And musically, I've had some other things that I did afterwards. I hooked up with a guy from that band, and we did a duo. But the music part of me has gone away, and I think it would be very cool to start doing it again at 63, right? Yeah. No, it wouldn't be
You're
cool.
never too old to rock and roll.
Are you?
That's right.
I don't know, but that's the question that we'll ask, because our guest tonight is Amee Belwanzo, who is part of the group TRASHETE. First of all, hi.
Hi.
You come on a very auspicious occasion.
Woo-hoo.
You have no idea what we met at Randy Malloy's 30th anniversary, and I found out about TRASHETE, and I said, "You want to do the podcast?" And you said, "Yeah."
I said, hell yeah.
You said, "Hell yeah." Your real job is you're the VP of Marketing and Business Incubation and Innovative what?
It's the Business Incubation and Innovation Center.
Okay.
Or we just call it BIC.
You call
Vic.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the pen.
Right, but
Oh.
two eyes. Exactly.
Okay.
And the name of the company is
ECDI.
ECDI, Economic and Community Development Institute.
Correct.
It all sounds very fancy.
A lot of
It's
letters.
big
It all
words,
sounds
yeah.
very fancy and sounds very formal. And you're in the marketing department, or you are the marketing department.
Yes, I have other people too, but
Yeah.
I lead them.
You lead them.
Yeah. I started the department.
You lead them down a path.
I try.
Yeah. You like that job?
I do. It's been really cool. I actually started during the pandemic, and we're basically a small business resource center. And we help entrepreneurs that are generally sort of underserved, underfunded by traditional systems. So especially during the pandemic, it's just been, a whole lot of need. We've ended up becoming the #1 SBA lender in the country.
Wow.
Micro lender, sorry. Because there are just so many entrepreneurs that need help. So it's very rewarding to be able
So
to...
could we be considered entrepreneurs with our podcast? Can we get help?
Probably, if you have a good business plan and you know.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Not so much.
First of all, business plan. And then
Hey, we can help with that.
Good business plan.
Good anything.
Yeah, it's not as easy as it sounds.
No, it isn't as easy as it sounds, but that's what you do during the day.
That's my day job.
That's
That's
your
right.
day job. But at nighttime,
I rock.
you rock.
Yeah,
And
I
before
try.
we get into all of that and find out more about, because I was completely taken with the fact that TRASHETE is you and 3 other moms.
That's right. All moms all the time.
All moms all the time that rock out to, and you write your own music, right?
Of
Play your own
course.
stuff.
The only way to do it.
The only way to do it, even though you are in a cover band as well.
That's right.
We'll talk about that a little bit later on too. But
Yeah.
we're in for a fun night of conversation to find out how TRASHETE was birthed and developed and where they are today.
She's got her guitar hooked up in the other room.
I wish. That would, but I don't know. Do you play guitar in the band?
I do. Yeah, I play guitar and sing. Which brings me to my next question. What did you play in your Greek American band?
I sang.
Okay. So you say Greek American? Is it
frontman,
like
yeah.
some kind of Dick
You know,
Dale shit?
it's like a bouzouki. The
Okay.
bouzouki is,
Yeah.
is the string instrument. Yeah, that's Spiro played the bouzouki. Tony Majanis played drums. We had one. Doug Hale played keyboard, and also he could just play.
You do
anything.
whatever.
Yeah, and I sang with Spiro, but I was the lead singer.
Do you have a recording?
Yes, we do. We have a 45. We have a.
We listened to it once, didn't we?
did, we
Yeah.
did.
I want to hear this.
Maybe after the podcast. Or
Yeah.
I can actually bring it up here, I think, and put it on that thing.
Okay, well, whenever you edit this, I think there's a good opportunity to just
To
drop a little
music
track.
and
Drop in the little. Drop in a little Opopo Maria. Opopo Maria. Opopo Maria Sagapo. And you are here on a very auspicious occasion, as I did mention. This is our 200th bottle on Whiskey Business.
Yes.
Yeah.
Our 200 bottle on Whiskey Business. I'll tell you more about the guest bottle as soon as Hansberry does a little bit of the business, and we look forward to a delightful conversation with Amee Belwanzo. That's an odd last name. That's why and you told me a story about it. We'll get to that as well because it's interesting. But Hansberry, the business
Go
first.
ahead. Whiskey Business is the podcast, not so much about whiskey as it is one with whiskey.
There you go.
If you're listening on your favorite podcasting app, thank you very much for stumbling on us, and smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. And every time we get a new episode, it'll auto-populate. And write and review for us if you can, too, if you get the opportunity.
Give us 5 stars.
5 stars.
If you're listening, you also...
5 stars. Someone give when they do like 4.5, I'm like, really?
Just round up.
Just round up.
Round up.
Do 5.
4.5. I didn't get out of bed to come here for 4.5 stars.
That's half-assed.
But if you are listening on your favorite podcasting app, don't forget we have a YouTube channel, YouTube with Whiskey, Whiskey Business with Dino Tripodis on YouTube. Yeah, and John Whitney does a great job editing and posting the YouTube video. You can smash subscribe.
I'm not good at posting. I'm good at
Kids say
There
smash
you
it.
are.
Smash it, smash a follow.
Sometimes I'm really late at posting.
Sometimes, yeah. But you guys. Well, if they didn't post, nothing would be posted because I have no technical ability whatsoever.
So it's working.
It's
All
true.
I do, you go with your strengths, and mine are drinking bourbon and talking to nice people and finding out more about them. So,
We're on social media, Whiskey Business on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and whiskeybusinesspod.com is our website. Is our list of drinks of bottles on the website?
No, but we probably should do that.
didn't we take a picture of that? Because didn't I have it on like?
Yeah, but that was around 100.
Yeah, I had it on. This is Amy. This is my fine document keeping right here.
Ah.
This is the
Right.
This is the bottles.
You should let me take that.
So you
And
do
I'll
have all
type it out
200.
and then post it.
They're
Oh,
all-
yeah.
Yeah.
We can just take a photo of it. I feel like this writing
I
needs
could
to
do
be
that.
shared with the world.
Yeah, we'll post this on the social media. So if you
Yeah.
can read through Dino's scribble, you'll have an
find
idea of what 200 bottles we've tasted.
Yeah.
That's old school. right there.
And thanks to our parent company, Evergreen Podcast.
Yes.
evergreenpodcast.com. We encourage you to go to their website and snoop around and find.
They've got a brand new facility
bunch
that
of
they
stuff.
moved into recently. We've been invited to go up and check it out.
Let's do it. They're from based out of Cleveland,
You have to do it.
Ohio. We are in
Yeah.
Columbus.
And following.
So there you go.
There you go. Man, you're quick.
I'm like that.
I mean but you have to. That's your business, right? I mean,
Kinda.
Is social media a huge part of what your marketing is with the ECDI?
It is. We didn't really have a consistent social account when I started, so that was
was
one of
you?
the things that I knocked down. Yeah.
Right.
But another person contributes to that. I can't claim the credit.
It's a
girl,
full-time
Leah.
job. I mean,
It
you
is.
could,
Do
Leah's
you
good
like
at it.
social media?
In which context?
Is there any context? I mean, as far as business,
So-
okay, yeah, you're going to say you like it. It's necessary. It's
Yeah,
needed.
it is.
But do you like social media?
So I am old enough to have kind of like witnessed the advent and been around when it was like, oh, this is so cool. Look at this. I'm chatting with my friends, and I, reconnected with some friends. Since then, I feel like I've seen a lot of just crappiness
Right?
come out of it. Yeah, so I've reduced my social media use just to not get caught up in the,
In the bullshit.
in the shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
yeah.
So
It's
it has,
easy. It's
it has
easy to
good
do,
points.
yeah.
It's good in theory.
I mean, the most I've ever been involved in social media has been once we started this podcast. I got an Instagram account and a Twitter account, which I don't pay attention to the Twitter account, but Instagram, I've been pretty good with Instagram.
You're doing all right.
Yeah, but then he does the Facebook, and you do the Facebook.
Yeah.
right.
Well, not so
Well, he
much as
does the
Johnny
Facebook.
But yeah. We
What do you do?
I nothing really.
Okay, I was just trying to-
He puts in the tinkly glass transition.
Yeah.
yeah.
Very valuable.
He's the audio producer.
I
he's the
outsource
video
it. I hire
producer.
some kid. I have an intern, unpaid intern, to do all the work. So I leave here,
God, that would be great.
send off
wouldn't
the
it? That'd be
audio, and
so
I don't
awesome.
know what the hell
man.
what happens after that.
Yeah, I mean,
Get it back? Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, great job.
It's necessary in this day and age, I know, but it's also a nasty double-edged sword that sword that cuts both ways.
Right.
I'm sorry to say. Now, this we call it our guest bottle. We have our guest and our guest bottle, And Johnny
like
was
the
like, "Are you
guest
sure we
house?
haven't had this on here?" I go, "No." And I tell you why. This is the Willet, the pot still whiskey, the 94 proof Willet bourbon in the pot still bottle.
Yeah.
Or what we like to call sometimes the I Dream a Genie bottle. Mm-hmm. If you rub this, no genie will come out. That'd be pretty cool, though.
That would be
if
a nice,
bourbon genie came out of this.
You drink
if
enough of it, maybe.
If you rubbed it and could grant you 3 wishes. If you had a genie come out of a bottle and granted you 3 wishes, what would they be? What would the first one be?
Oh, you asked me too quick.
I know.
Magic carpet ride.
Yeah. See, you already blew one.
And I can't say more wishes, right?
What?
Can't say more wishes, right?
More
So-
wishes? That'd be smart.
Well, that would be.
That's one of the
that'd be
rules you
wish
can't
number
do.
one,
Yeah,
right?
I think as
Yeah, I think that's a rule.
I think there's some sort of a genie bylaw.
Yeah. And I don't think you could kill anybody,
that
according to
wouldn't-
Aladdin, is the other
Okay.
one.
Yeah.
So I would just, I'd wish for a whole bunch of money
Yeah.
and that I could just, an endless supply of money is what I'd wish
Oh,
for. Not a
that's perfect.
specific amount, but just like infinity.
Yeah.
So I could share it and
Never
cure
run
cure
out,
things and
right?
fund research to cure diseases and end wars and all that. And also party and have fun.
There you go.
And wars, huh? There's
Yeah.
too much money in that. You're not gonna do that.
But see, some of those like party and have fun, I wouldn't put that as a wish because
Right,
if you
right,
had the
right,
infinite
right.
amount of money, it goes without
That it
saying.
covers it. Covers it.
Yeah,
Because
it
you
kinda
can do whatever
covers
you
it.
want.
So
Yeah,
really,
yeah.
you could do
It wasn't a second wish. That was what I would do with the first wish, with the endless amount of money.
Yeah.
Then the second wish would be perfect health for me and my family and everybody I know forever and ever.
That's us. Yes.
Yeah, you guys count.
Now we know her, so we're in that circle.
Would you want to live
That's right.
forever?
I don't know that I would want to live forever.
What if you could get to a certain age and like, okay, I like the way I look, I like the way I feel, and just stop
Stay right there.
and stay right there, and then but continue to live? What if you could do that?
I would totally do that, and maybe I would have like a an out. You know, I'd have like a trapdoor or something that when
Yeah.
I was
A kill switch.
a kill switch.
If you got tired, like,
Literally a kill switch. Yeah, when
I get
I'm
it.
tired of life on this mortal coil, then there's the
Yeah,
kill switch.
Just like a vampire, though. They don't age, and then everybody else dies around
Yeah.
them, and then
You
That
watch
would
your
be boring.
grandchildren
Eventually.
grow older than you and die.
that would suck. After a
Yeah,
while.
eventually it would really suck. So yeah.
You know, how old was Methuselah?
I don't know.
He was hundreds of years old, supposedly,
I don't know. Let me call
right?
my church going mom.
Yeah. Oh, you have a church-going mom?
I do. She's
could-
lovely.
You come from a religious family? Mm-hmm. Oh, what's the religion? Is it Catholic?
So no, her family, they were kind of like Southern Baptists. They
Oh.
come from a musical family. So her dad was in a Stamps quintet. So
Stamps
What's that?
Quintet.
right. So you ask. So barbershop quartet has 4 male voices and whatever the parts are. It's like bass, tenor,
Sure.
the male parts. Not the male parts, but the male voice
The male
parts.
vocal. Yeah,
Yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
a male vocal ranges. And so then a Stamps quintet, I think there were 2 female and 3 male parts.
Oh, so you had female voices, basically.
Yeah, so there's alto soprano and then tenor
Okay.
bass and I don't know, whatever would be the other one, contrabass, I don't know.
Right.
Whatever it is. So yeah, they toured and they did a whole bunch of revival shows, and my mom remembers being like passed around laps as like, oh, my grandpa would get up and perform and somebody else would hold her and they'd switch off, and it just sounds like kind of a fun childhood.
So yeah, it does.
Yeah.
And so you were around music all your life.
Yeah, they didn't do anything like that though. By the time I came along, we went to Methodist church when I grew up, so she kind of moved on, I guess.
I'm thinking of a Mighty Wind, the Christopher Guest movie.
Yeah.
That's what I'm envisioning.
That's folk, right? It's
Yeah,
folk.
but still.
So you come from a religious family. I'm always interested in if people that were raised in religious families stay religious, or if they become, like you always say, you're a Reformed Catholic.
Desensitized.
Desensitized a little bit, yeah, because I was deep into the Greek Orthodox Church as well. And I don't go. And my mother, it breaks her heart that I don't go to church every Sunday still.
Yeah, Catholics are some of the biggest hellcats I know.
Right.
Down the road, yeah. We went to, my husband and I got married in Broad Street United Methodist Church, and the minister was like the best person ever. Great minister. We enjoyed, going to sermons, and somehow, we just really haven't gone a whole lot since we got married there.
But it's in your heart, right? That's what
Yes.
I always say. It's in my heart.
Exactly.
It's in my mind.
It's in my heart.
In my mind. If I need to, I
yes.
have my conversations.
Exactly. My husband's not super. He grew up Catholic, so didn't keep, so to speak. But I have the rest of my family I can go to for Theology conversations.
While we're talking about your husband for just a moment, you mentioned something interesting when we met, and you gave me your card, and I was pronouncing your name, and you said it was a combination of names.
It is, yeah.
Belwanzo is...
Yes, so his last name is Bell. My last name is Wanzo. And when we were getting married, he had the very evolved idea that, like, everybody's always called me Wanzo my entire life.
Sounds like a nickname.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun to
Hey,
say,
Hey,
right?
Wanzo!
Yes.
Hey, Wanzo, what's
Right,
up?
like Wanzo.
Right.
Yeah, it's a fun name.
The mighty Wanzo will be performing later.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, there's like a drinking game in my hometown where you shout out Wanzo after you drink. But yeah, it's
I want to play.
Yeah, let's go.
we can do that now if you want. Yeah. So it's always been just, I don't know, kind of part of my identity that, like, it's more like a greeting, you know? So he thought, well, why should you have to lose that part of your identity just because you're getting married? Let's combine it and make a super name. But it couldn't be Wanzo Bell because that sounds too much like Taco Bell.
Yeah,
So
it
we
does
went
a
with,
little bit.
Yeah. So we went with Belwanzo, which sounds like an
It does.
island.
It's a
He
Belwan-
changed his name too.
So that was the plan.
Sounds magical. Belwanzo sounds
It does.
magical.
Yes. Neither of us officially changed our name because we went to the courthouse to like file the paperwork, you know.
Right.
We know what you have to do. And they said, well, you can change your name, lady, but you, man, cannot change your name without standing trial.
Oh, that's bullshit.
Right. That's
Yeah.
what we said.
That's old
Because,
school
yeah.
bullshit.
So we both were like, fuck this, fuck the patriarchy, and like stormed out of the courturhouse. And
Did you
know,
storm? Did you actually storm out?
We
of the
did.
courthouse?
We
Did you
stormed.
storm?
We stomped. We got all
I always
pissy.
know when people say,
yeah.
we stormed out. And people really storm out.
We like grabbed some papers off of just a nearby counter. We was like, fuck this. Just like threw them.
I like that.
Flipped a table.
We got some white cards and some big magic markers. We're coming back.
Yeah, exactly. But so we said, well, you know, screw this. That's bullshit. Maybe before we have a kid, we should change our name. You know, so we'll all have the same family name. Nothing will be weird or questionable. But our daughter's 7, and we
Still haven't done it yet.
neither of us. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's
What
what
you
we
got?
go. We each go by Belwanzo, but legally it's
7-year-old daughter.
Lola.
Lola. Great name.
Lola Lucille
Lola
Belwanzo.
Wanzo.
Lola Lucille Belwanzo.
That's
Man,
her name,
that
yeah.
is awesome. Yeah.
Lucille
She's
Belwanzo.
destined for great things.
I think so.
With a name like that.
And she is a funny kid.
Well, I mean, she's got a interesting, funny mom. Has your husband got a great sense of humor as well?
Yeah,
right.
he's a storyteller. You guys, have you ever seen the movie Big Fish?
Yeah.
Where he tells these like fantastical stories, and his son thinks he's lying, but then he like meets the characters from
Right,
the
right,
story.
right, right,
It's
right.
kind of like that.
Ah.
Yeah.
That's a gift in itself, being a storyteller. I mean, a
Yes.
good one. My
Yeah.
grandfather was a great storyteller, and I've listened to the same stories. You know, as he got older, he would repeat them, but it didn't matter. He had such a magical way of telling them in such an interesting way, and he told them with such passion and such sincerity that you could listen to him over and over again. So good on him.
Yeah.
Good on him. Now, have you had a
part of
sip
his
of this whiskey yet?
No, but
Do you,
cheers
do you ever
guys.
drink whiskey on a regular basis?
You know, I don't regularly drink whiskey.
You're what, a beer drinker?
I am. I'm
Okay.
really more of a beer drinker.
It's all right. This is a pot still whiskey. It's a little hot on the nose, and a lot of people see. Here's this. This is kind of almost a controversial whiskey as well, because what I call the young bourbon drinkers that are around now, what I call the mixennials. Yes, they have gone to TikTok and hate this whiskey.
Oh, really?
Do you think
Why?
it's overrated or something, or
Yeah,
what?
they think it's
Whatever.
too earthy. They think it's too grainy.
That's a good word I was going to say. It's really sweet up front, but it finishes kind of earthy, almost like something from the garden.
I got the sweetness. Is
got
it
the sweetness?
stupid if I ask if you guys taste like banana?
Not at all. No, not at all.
Because I swear there's like a hint of banana.
There's a hint of banana.
can see
I
that.
pick up some honey in that as well. A
brown
little
sugar on my
sweetness.
end.
Could see that.
Brown sugar at the end.
Yeah.
Very good, John Whitney. Yeah.
Yeah, it is
developing.
It is a
It's
little
developing.
bitter, earthy finish. I mean, it's not bad, but it's
And here's the deal. It's not an overly expensive bottle. It's just hard to find. If you're in Kentucky, you can find it rather easily. But in
Indiana, no
Ohio,
problem.
which we just started getting some Willet products, they're few and far between. But it ranges for like around $49, $50 a bottle. And it's unique, and the bottle's cool. Yes, the bottle's cool. And
I saw it for the first time in a store 2 weeks ago in years. Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
now these two bottles that I've had, I picked them up when I was in coming back up from Florida when I was
Yeah.
taking care of Mom, and I stopped in Kentucky and picked up bottles.
We went to the distillery recently. Remember, I brought you
Really?
back,
Yeah.
the mini
Yeah,
the
those were
airplane
nice.
bottles that were in the same shape as this. But it's a cool.
Well, this is the
it's a
same
cool-
shape as the pot still.
Right,
This is
right,
what a
right,
pot
right.
still looks like.
Now I'm curious, Dino,
cool-
when you're driving
cool
back
place to
from
check out.
Tampa,
Yeah.
and you know that you got a little bit of time, how long does it really take you to drive back home? Because you're stopping about every other stop.
You know, it's
Every other
amazing.
state.
I was down in Florida for
like
6
a hunt.
weeks,
All the
taking
whiskey
care of my
along the way.
mom for 6 weeks. And when I left, it was heartbreaking to leave her. I was really sad. But then I was like, I took my time getting down there, but I couldn't wait to get
okay.
home. So I was like pedal to the metal. And even stopping in Kentucky at 2 or 3 liquor stores, I still made it back like in 14 and a half hours.
Oh, that's a good time, actually.
crazy. I mean, I did not stop. I just I was,
Yeah.
on a mission.
What do you drive?
I drove my little Lincoln down, so it was comfortable. My little
Lincoln.
my little Lincoln.
down.
Yeah, I don't have the big Lincoln. I don't have the Matthew McConaughey Lincoln that he advertised on TV. He would never drive my Lincoln.
With the cow in the middle of the road.
But yeah, so yeah, I picked it up in Kentucky. So yeah, I love bourbon. I love whiskey. I always have. And where does your taste for beer come from? Was that just
I don't know.
Was
I mean,
that just the
is there-
go-to drink?
Do I
when
need
you
a
were growing
reason
up?
to like beer?
No.
I'm a thirsty drinker, I think.
What's a thirsty drinker?
I drink a lot. Like, I'll have
Yeah.
a meal and I'll have like 2 or 3 drinks in front of me and drink them all. So beer, I can drink thirstily. Don't have to pace as much. I think that's probably. I would guess that's it.
Can you chug beer? Because I can't chug beer. I can't do it.
Sure.
Prove it.
I can't do it. It's because the foam, it builds up.
Yeah, it doesn't bug me, the foam.
I don't know. I've always enjoyed whiskeys. And do you guys like this? Do you like this?
I
whiskey?
do a
Yeah, I've
lot.
always liked Willet. Yeah,
I do.
I do.
I think it
It's-
has a sweet aftertaste. Like,
It
I
does,
feel
it
kind
does.
of
I actually like the rye that's down there, and I thought about cracking the estate rye open, but maybe I'll save that for $250 or $300
good stuff.
or something else. There's so many bottles that I'm not a collector. I open all the bottles eventually. I've opened up some bottles that I like that. See that bottle up there, up on top, way up on top, that Thomas Handy Sazerac. If I hadn't opened that, I could have sold that, which I wouldn't have on the black bourbon market.
Oh,
Just
For
the
like
regular black.
The dark
right.
web.
There's a double black.
the dark black market. I could have sold that for thousands of dollars.
Wow.
And it was cost like
Did you know this before you opened it?
kinda
Okay.
did, because next to it is a 10-year bottle of Rip Van Winkle, and that was like at the time I bought it like $99, and could have sold that for $600. It's crazy. But there's people that buy bottles and just see what I have, and they never
Right.
open them.
Like the action figure guys.
Yeah,
that's a
exactly.
good- that's a
But your
good-
philosophy is
My philosophy is collect art, drink whiskey.
I like it.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
It
Do you ever
does.
think of just getting 2 bottles? One to drink, one to hide from yourself?
Sometimes I do. Like we recently
yourself.
we
I'm
recently
saying the
alcoholic.
Yeah,
You'd have to, right?
I already tried it once and I failed. We had a barrel selection at Watershed. They actually a whiskey business selection,
Yeah.
which was kind of
Oh, cool.
yeah, it was very cool.
He made you a barrel.
Yes,
That's awesome.
it's sitting over there. That's the second bottle because I said I'm not going to drink this one. I'm saving it, and then, of course I opened it up and it's gone.
I bought 2 and I drank
And
both.
that's right. Yeah. So,
So.
then I just like, okay, what am I saving the whiskey for? I saved the bottle. That's the momentum.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
That's the memory. Save the bottle. The whiskey, just drink it. So that's our little drinking history for you in
Nice.
a couple of steps. My question for you is, I want to know. All right, I find out you grew up with music all your life, and you've played music all your life. You've been in bands all your life.
By loose definition of band, so
Yeah.
like a lot of kids growing up, I was like classically trained, quote unquote. So you learn how to play classical stuff in your
Like what? What were you
lessons.
classically trained in?
So I played piano and then sang like in choral ensembles. So
Alright.
just I guess traditional, you
Okay,
know,
sure.
which was fun and rewarding, I guess, as you're growing.
You
and
learn
it's,
how
like,
to do
challenging
it
to
kind
play.
of the right way.
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely been a help to understand theory. as I'm like writing stuff, for rock and roll. But so I did that
So
through
you can
college.
actually write music. You can actually do all that.
Yeah.
Because I write music, but I don't know how to write the notes and all
Yeah,
that stuff.
so I can do that on piano. I can do that with vocals. But I learned to play guitar more recently, and I still I play really by ear. And I always, said those people were hacks, but here I am. So
You join the hacks.
exactly, I'm
Yeah.
half hack, half legit, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's the best of both worlds. I like it.
Yeah,
Have you,
gives me
did
an
you take-
understanding.
Did you have proper training with your guitar playing? Please say no. because I
he's heard me play before.
I heard you play.
No, but when I went to college, I found out I was like, oh, you could take lessons for
Yeah.
credit.
Uh-huh.
So I did take I took classical guitar from a teacher, but
Nice.
a lot of it was spent like talking about guitar and form and different
Yeah.
things.
So you think it's going to be like an easy A, right?
Yeah, and I got an A, but
I did.
Yeah, but I just like learn more of like the history and like the how to properly do shit. I don't do it, but I know how to do
Yeah.
it. I know how to teach a kid how to do it the right way, but I don't do it
That's
the right
something.
way.
Oh, I'm the
I know.
worst.
I know 3 chords. I know 3
You
chords.
you probably know the main ones,
Yeah,
right?
EGF. I think.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
So you got an A in that class.
Oh yeah, I took it like every semester except for like one or two.
Every semester. So it was like different levels of.
It was the same guy, and you just
Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I speak
it
Greek
was-
fluently.
yeah.
I lived in Greece. I went to Ohio State and I took Greek thinking it'd be an easy A.
Failed it.
Oh,
I got
shit.
a D.
Oh my god.
Oh lordy. Were you just like cocky going into it, or like didn't think you needed to study?
What's the word? Lazy.
Oh.
Lazy.
Okay.
Lazy student. If I could go back and to college, I would have been a much. I would
You
take it a
know,
little
we
more
all say
serious-
that, right?
a little bit more
every
seriously.
every adult says that about their college years, except the ones who were like really studious. And you know what they say?
I
They
wish I
wish
would've
they would have
partied
had more
more.
fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Can never get that shit back, can
Did you go to college?
I did.
Where'd you go?
I went to Bowling Green.
Oh, good. Great school.
Not much else to do there but party.
But yeah, I've made many a road trip to Bowling Green.
Oh, you know what else I did at Bowling Green? I figure skated. That's what my like PE credit was.
okay.
The class of why would you take
And then
the
was
class
that
over
was
and
that
over.
something that you'd always done? And then like,
So my sister's a little bit older than me, and she kind of grew up in that like Dorothy Hamill area.
yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, my family was always a figure skating family. Like they'd watch it and understand what the jumps were and what have you. So I don't know. It sounded like fun.
What was your favorite trick?
sounded like fun.
What's the
Oh.
most difficult? What,
Yeah.
Triple sow cow? What?
Oh, I guess an axle is the most.
Is that a
Yeah,
thing?
it is.
Is it triple sack? It sounds awful.
That's legit. Yeah. I don't know what that is. There's the way they judge
If somebody
the
called me a
jumps is
sow
like-
cow, I'd think I'd be insulted.
I think it might be named after a person. I would guess.
Probably.
So like
Dorothy Hamill actually did the triple sow cow.
probably, yeah. So it's the way that they decide the jumps. If you start facing forward and end up backwards, or start backwards and end up forward, or like kick off with your toe pick. That's basically how you tell the jumps apart. But I don't know.
Okay.
There.
All right.
But you took it and you got a
I
good
did.
grade,
Yeah, it was super fun.
and you could still skate.
Uh huh.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't. I can't skate.
No.
Can't ice skate? Can't roller skate?
Rollerblade. Can you do that?
No, are you kidding me? I tried to put on rollerblades one time, and I was one of those like I went that way. I
can't do
and
that.
I could not get enough for me.
I'm just
Do
like
some
choppy. I
ankle
look like I
strengthening
look like I got
exercises.
crap in my pants when I.
Yeah.
That's like,
Yeah.
you know, just like
Oh.
I don't even know if I've seen you ride a bike.
So you're very athletic, is what I'm
That's
what I'm getting from this
very,
conversation.
very athletic.
Okay.
Very athletic. I'm very strong,
Yeah.
but not very athletic.
Okay. I gotcha. I feel like usually people
You'd
are
be a lineman.
going to be musical or athletic, and maybe it's because like if you're a big
I was more a creative person than that.
Yeah.
Even though we've talked about it on the podcast, I wanted to play basketball. Johnny played basketball, you know, because
He's tall.
He's tall. I'm not as tall as Johnny, but I wanted to play basketball, and I lived with my grandmother at the time, and she would not sign the permission slip.
Why?
I don't know. She didn't want anything
Fun
bad to
hater.
happen on her watch.
Okay.
My mother wasn't around, and it was just her. So she wouldn't sign a permission slip for me to do anything.
Oh.
And I had at the time, which would have been today, I had a 3-pointer that just wouldn't miss from the side.
all
It
right.
was just
If I knew anything about sports, I would call you some
Yeah.
sports guy
I can't see
who
it
has a
too
good
well. Is that
three-pointer.
one guy?
Right.
Yeah.
And I do have a football. I do have a
Johnny three-shotter
and a football injury. I do have a football injury in my right knee. It's a football injury.
from what?
The tailgate.
Football.
You slipped.
That's
Yeah, drunken injury.
long. I went long for a beer and ran into a tree.
That happens. I have a girlfriend who broke an ankle doing that.
All right. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I digress.
Yeah, what were we talking about?
We do that. We go down rabbit holes all the time, and eventually we get to the main topic.
Yeah.
Which is Trashete.
Yeah, Trashete.
All right. I mean, we followed a little bit of your history, and so whose idea was Trashete?
So, Trashete's been playing for quite a long time, and there have been many different iterations of women, but this latest one's been.
Well, tell me the original the original origin story
Okay, so
for starters. And
my bandmate Danielle Kelly was her name, and she's now Danielle Forney. And she's been in a ton of bands. All of us have been in a ton of bands. We did the math and figured that between all of us, we've been playing music in Columbus for more than 100 years.
Wow.
So, I know. That was pretty impressive to think about.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like since a couple have been playing since the 90s, and then the other two of us have been playing since the early 2000s. So add it up. But yeah, so Danielle Kelly and I and a couple other ladies started, and all of us were in different bands, and we all played together. And usually, like, it was all guys in my band, and we would go play like a festival or something, and maybe there'd be 10 bands on stage through the day, and I'd be the only woman the entire day that was on the stage. It was always like a lot of dudes, big sausage fist. So I'd always be the lone
Kind of
chick.
like this podcast.
Yeah, kind of. And then there's me. I always be the lone chick out there. So our bands would play together, and we would kind of talk like, hey, we should, play a band together. So Danielle and me and another woman named Victoria, who was in a band and played bass at the time, but then shortly after she started playing bass for us, decided that she wanted to be a hip hop star.
Okay.
So she's Vicky V, and she moved to Brooklyn, and she's pretty good. Check her out.
That's cool.
Yeah, I like listening to some Vicky V. And so she left the band, and we got another bass player. We had a guitar player who went by Krista Chaos, but she had to move to San Francisco for her job. So Danielle also played guitar, and we couldn't find another guitar player. We did have a second guitar player for a while, which is when I started playing. And her strength, Krista would really freaking do these awesome riffs. Yeah, she was so badass. And the girl who joined was better on theory. She's a really smart musician. Wasn't necessarily one to shred and make noise. So that's when I started playing, because that's really all I like to do on guitar. So I would kind of play the riffy part, and she would play the song, really. She would play the chords. And so then at some point she was in another band, and they were getting really busy, and it was like I said, kind of rotation. So at some point,
like Kiss.
Yeah, our person who was our drummer, Danielle was our drummer. She ended up playing guitar, and we got Tira as our drummer. And Tira, Danielle was in the Rose Hips, you might have heard of. Tira was in a whole bunch of bands. So she drums for us, and she actually was one of the few female sound engineers at Little Brothers.
Okay.
So yeah, she did sound for a whole lot of really cool bands.
Many a night at
back
Little
in the
Brothers.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of history. At some point, our bass player had to go somewhere. We got another bass player.
She can't even keep track.
I know, right? It's been a lot of different women have kind of rotated through the band, but the latest iteration has been.
So how many years has this been from its origin to where we are today?
That's a good question.
How many years has Trashete in some way, shape, or form existed?
I'm gonna guess 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a huge amount.
No.
But the way you tell it, it sounds like for the last
Some kinda
30
epic,
years,
right?
Trashete has gone through so many incarnations.
No, we've all been in different bands over 20 to 30 years, but Trashete's been around about 10, and then the current iteration, probably 4 years.
Who named it?
That's another good question. I think we were all just kind of riffing on words.
Yeah.
It was riff on the word rock, riff on the word trash, whatever, and somehow somebody's like the Trashettes, and somebody's like Trashete.
Yeah, that's better.
Like machete,
I like
but
it.
trash.
Like machete.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how you explained it to me.
Yeah.
Trashete, like machete. And I went,
Is that
okay.
how you spell it?
And
Yes.
Is there stuff on? Is there music online?
Yeah, you can go on to SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/trashete.
Look some up.
Like machete, but trash.
Yeah.
That's how you
And
spell
then, do
it.
we have your permission to put some of it in this podcast?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it's all original music.
That is
So
correct.
who do you collectively write the music, or is that you?
We do. Yeah, we collectively write. Usually I write the lyrics, but not all the time. But just, as a singer, you tend to be the person who's like doing that part, right?
And where does the inspiration for the songs come from? What are some of the theme of some of the
So
of the
a
music?
big theme throughout a lot of our music is feminism.
Yeah.
Sometimes more overtly, but sometimes just in calling out shit that like we've realized that we've gone through, I guess. In terms of like, man, we've all been with a partner, a guy who, did this, and that's pretty typical. And like, why do we deal with that, or why do we have to do that? So
This one, Trashete, Walk Away.
uh-huh.
That's the most listens.
Oh, there you go.
So that's you on guitar? Rockin'.
No, I don't play guitar.
It's
I'm on
really good. Is
camera
that
on
you?
this one.
No, it's
right. I think on SoundCloud, try
All right.
It's cool. It reminds me of...
That's as loud as you can crank it. There you go.
oh, that's loud.
There you go.
Yeah, it's good.
What's the
that
band
you
with
singing?
Carrie Brownstone?
Oh, Slater Kinney?
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of.
Is that you singing?
Yeah.
Okay, so I can
Yeah.
hear
You tried Love Hate.
I can hear a guttural
guitar.
passion in there.
Yeah.
You believe in what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
You believe in what you're singing.
Yeah.
You're delivering the message.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So would you call it kind of a punk? You kind of a punk?
Yeah, kind of like garage band, sort of punk. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. How many songs? 4? More than 4.
I think there's maybe 4 on there. We've got a few
There's a
additional
bunch.
songs.
There's a bunch.
We did
Yeah.
oh, yeah. I think some might be versions. We did Broad and High. We recorded a video, and I think there's 3 new songs on that one. So if
Cool.
you Google Broad and High Trashete,
Okay.
you can see some live
wait,
performance
okay.
video.
That's where I've heard your name. I watch Broad and Eye all the
Oh,
time.
there you go.
That's
I read the credits. So
Were you
I-
like, hey, look at this band. They're all moms.
Yeah, they are all moms. So was that a happy accident, or was that on purpose?
I mean, all of us became moms on purpose. None of us were moms when we started the band.
Okay.
So
That's what I didn't know. I didn't know if like it was moms that decided to put a band together, but you just all became moms while you're in the
no,
band.
it was more like the
Like-
young kind of like punk female musicians
Right,
playing
right.
around and decided to put a band together. And over the years, we've become moms. Tira and Melanie, who both joined the later iterations of band, they had kids when they joined, but
And I'm curious, when you go back to those early days when you were just, not a mom and in the band, and then you
Right.
become a mom in the band, did that change your mindset, your scope, and your thought process, and the music that you write? And it's a multi-layered question. And did it change also where your thoughts were in respects to feminism and so forth and so on? I would
Yes.
imagine as that all comes filtering in, that there have to be some significant impact on what you write.
Having
Yeah.
a daughter, yeah.
yeah, that's a good question because we didn't start out with any kind of goal of being like, feminist or femme forward. It just kind of over time and like with different things happening in the political world, it sort of evolved that way as we were just, singing about the things that were on our mind or the things that we were, affected by or just talking about it at practice and kind of riffing. It sort of has evolved into that. We didn't start necessarily that way, I would say.
So when the Me Too movement was at its peak and
Yeah.
strong, and where was Trashete at that point, and was the music echoing that movement as well?
Yeah, totally. We one of the songs on Broad and High is called "A Million Women Strong," that was inspired by the March on Washington. So that was maybe our first like just decidedly feminist song. The first one that was kind of specifically about the feminist movement. Like I said, a lot of the others are just about experiences that kind of you go through and think like, oh, a lot of women probably go through this, and it's probably pretty unique to women, dealing with this. So, yeah, which ends up being a lot about relationships or about interactions, things like that. So it's not overtly feminist, just about,
Your perspective on things.
That because I've met very strong feminists and women who claim to be feminists, and then women who just think that men suck overall, just in general, and very cold and calculated, and they call themselves feminists as well.
Okay.
So I'm always curious about that. You're married, happily married, got a beautiful daughter.
Yeah.
And
to an evolved husband who didn't feel like
I'm forced you to take his
what's
name.
the question?
I have to take his name or he's not a man.
What is an evolved man? What is an evolved husband? What is an evolved man in that world or in this world? What's the definition of that? It's got to be different for every guy because every guy's in a different place.
I would guess it would be different. To me, when I say that in reference to him, it's that he didn't feel beholden to tradition. That it's manly. You have to take my name to, you're the woman, I'm the man. He just felt like we're people and we can do what feels right to us. And he's always very, I feel like he kind of sees things how they are. He's good about doing that. So whether it's whatever kind of equality it is, I feel like he's just very good at looking at people as people and, not feeling like he has to be on a certain road, I guess.
Right.
How old were you guys when you got married? If you mind me asking.
So
We don't have to do the math.
I think I was 28 and he was 30 when we met. And so maybe I was like 31.
Fair enough. Yeah, because from
Or 32?
I got married when I was 25, and 25 to 32, I mean,
20.
it's a life
See,
of a difference.
Yes.
I got married
Oh,
when
God,
I was
yes.
young, and when I heard you got married at 25, I'm like, wow, that's young.
Yeah.
I got married when I was 21.
That's young.
Yeah, that's real young. Yeah.
I was 28.
You were
Like,
28.
how do you even know who you are?
You don't.
Exactly.
You don't know who you are.
Yeah.
No, I've always said that your 20s are just like you're still, as soon as you turn 21, I'm an adult. I know it.
Right.
No, you don't. You don't know shit. You don't know shit in your 20s. You're still going to school.
Yeah.
School life in a big way.
Yeah.
Right around the 30s, though, I think you start to mold and shape and identify yourself, who you are, what you are, where
Yes.
you're going.
Yeah.
And then what? And that's a great 10 years of development. And then you get to the 40s where you start doubting everything again.
Right. Where you start getting world weary and miserable.
Yeah, right.
Maybe I do like black
Am I doing
licorice.
the right thing? Am I with the right person? Doing the right job? Did I make the right choices?
Yeah, I might have had a couple of those thoughts in my earlier 40s,
Right,
but
yeah.
I'm approaching mid 40s and feeling good about
Oh, well,
it. so.
tell then wait till you get to the fucking 50s. You'll love
Okay,
it.
okay.
Fuck it. Fuck it.
Nice.
Yeah, and which just leads into the don't give a shit 60s.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you have nothing but wonderful years.
Gotta
to look
love
forward
seniors
to.
who don't give a shit. The best.
Seniors who don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Technically I am a senior citizen.
Oh.
Well, hell yeah.
Do you get discounts?
You know what? I do, and I never use them, and I forget about them all the time because I don't think of myself.
What is that thing that they come in all the time? Is a card?
The AARP.
The
Are you
Golden
part of
Buckeye.
that?
Well, I did because I said no to it like 1,000 times.
I keep looking at it and I'm
And
like,
then
going,
one
fuck
year-
no, I'm not old enough yet.
Yeah, and then one year I caved. I said, well, and then one year I went, oh, that's a really nice duffel bag. What the hell?
I almost broke
That was
last
when
month.
you officially reached the don't give a shit.
I did, and then I re-signed. I re-upped again when they had a carrier that you could put in the back seat to put stuff in the back.
That's very adult of
Your
you.
newspapers.
It's like, now we got him. We know
Well,
exactly what to
I
send.
got
Right.
the carrier. I have jumper cables in one section. I have like a first aid kit in the middle section.
Oh, very
And I
prepared.
have what I call trunk whiskey in the third one.
Oh, good.
And-
Thank
the-
God.
Emergency whiskey.
In case of emergency, break glass bottle.
Yeah.
Right? You rip into somebody. Oh man, we're out of whiskey. No, we're not.
Right.
I go to the trunk and I always have
What was the
Trump.
AARP discount for that trunk whiskey? Anything?
No, nothing. Ain't no discount on the whiskey.
should be.
There's like discounts galore. I've never paid attention to it.
Yeah.
I only signed
Can
up
I
to
rent
get
a car with your name? I need to rent a car this summer.
Yeah. I only signed up to get the duffel bag.
Hey. So it works.
Oh God! But you have that to look forward to.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
Right?
I'm pretty excited.
awesome.
Yeah.
Do you worry about age? Because you when just in the short amount of conversation that we had the night at Randy's, you just seem like that doesn't define you or
Yeah.
deny you as well.
Right. Yeah. I think so. That's kind of part of us ladies being in a band. A lot of people, when they have a family, they feel like, well, it's time to give up the band. But like, why? You don't have to. It's your hobby. It's something fun you do for yourself. Like, why should you have to give it up just to have a family? So
Well, I guess that's my question. Is it just a hobby, or do you have dreams of grandeur in respect to Trashete?
No, I mean, I
as far
don't
as
think we're gonna,
recording and
like-
traveling and touring and
yeah, no, I don't think
and,
we're
you
gonna
know.
go on tour and get signed and all this stuff. I mean,
What if you did, though?
We have mortgages and whatever.
What if that happened?
I mean, if they paid us enough
What
to
if
like,
that happened?
pay the bills without the day job, then
What if
sure.
one of those songs that all those many songs you've written hit?
Suddenly made $1 million, got a license for like a movie or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, I'd go on tour. Like we could bring the kids.
Would you
and-
dump all this?
that'd
Would
be
you
fun.
take this? Would you tear up the card and you go? Because this seems like you're very passionate and
I know,
serious
I
about
can
this
work
as well.
remotely too, though.
Ah, all right.
Well, that's some heavy cardstock right there. You put some in.
That's
you
it.
put
I know.
some thought
It's
into
got
that.
That's how you know somebody's sticking around for a minute.
It's got
Then
a
they get the
satin
heavy
coating.
cards.
It's like waxy. Satin coating.
Yes,
Is that
yeah,
what that
because
is?
you know why? I
Oh,
hate to
nice.
touch paper. Like it feels like gritty on my finger or dusty or something.
yeah.
Do you guys ever get
No,
that
I
feel from
love
paper?
paper. I have all
Ugh.
kinds of paper.
I hardly ever write by hand. Like I'll go to a meeting with my laptop and like.
Right, we were talking about this.
Oh God, I can't.
Look over there.
can't.
See that?
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. There's tons of them in
That's
this
very
house.
cool.
Not very cool. I use it.
Oh, okay.
There's one in that room too. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them upstairs. And
Yeah.
There's like another 8 in the
Okay,
closet.
so do you have whiteout, or is that the type that had like the corrector tape?
No, that doesn't have the corrector tape.
Am I-
There's
sorry, I
whiteout,
need
and
to
I don't
just
worry
mistake.
about it. I don't worry about the whiteout because anything. I just do the drafts on that, so I don't care
Okay.
about the typos.
Like,
Eventually,
screw it.
I will go to the computer.
So when
but-
you're doing a draft, are you like blah blah blah? I mean, whiskey bar.
yeah, whatever. I just
Like,
yeah.
okay.
Don't worry about correcting it. Just write it.
Okay.
Made him crazy when we were the last film we worked together. When I said I was writing dialogue for the film, and I
So
wrote
you
it.
are like, here you go.
Oh no, he was cut and
This
pasting.
is the only copy.
This is how I cut.
He was cut and pasting his changes onto the script like he was in a high school newspaper.
Like literal cut and
Like
paste.
literally cut and paste.
Like the olden days.
That's right.
Or like a ransom note.
Yes.
Either.
Actually, yeah.
Either.
First time he sent it, he
Wherever
handed it
you
over.
gain
I
your
looked at it, I go,
skills.
"What the fuck is this?"
It looked like somebody insane.
Like a
It's
ransom
like-
note. Okay.
Yeah.
Right? We've talked about that. I've been in like jobs before. So in marketing, you like print brochures and whatever. And I've, done tours of presses and all kinds of whatever. And usually it's digital now, but there's, a lot of times where it's actually like printing ink on paper, and somebody will always bring up, can you imagine back in the day we had to cut out the letters and like set them on the
Yes,
thing?
I can. I can't imagine back in
You
the day.
prefer.
It's just you have a creative process, do you not? Mm-hmm. What's your process?
So I do it in my head, kind of like if I'm writing a song, for instance, I'll just almost like meditate's the wrong word, but just be in a quiet place, which a lot of times is driving.
Which comes first, the melody or the lyric?
It depends. Sometimes one, sometimes the other, and sometimes whatever cool idea, like maybe it's a guitar riff or something, that'll kind of come into my head, and I'll think about that. And often, like I have, hundreds of voice notes on here, where I might just like hum something, like hum
yeah.
a guitar
I do that.
riff, or
I do that.
yeah. So I'll build on that later, and then so any part, whatever comes to mind, can be inspiring to finish a song.
Do you
The
ever
driving's
write?
a big one.
Do you ever write notes and then like don't know what the hell they mean?
Oh, all the time.
The next day.
Yeah, all the
I
time.
do that all the time. But yeah,
Or I'll sing a part and I listen to it later and I'm like, was that
was that
stoned
for?
or
Yeah,
something?
yeah.
Like, what the
I'll
hell?
listen to. Yeah, I'll put down little. I still kind of mess around and write music Well, I sent you some old music. Remember when I said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You found.
I found the basement tapes from like my 20s. That was
Nice.
my 20s were my prolific.
Of course.
20 to 34 was my prolific decade of writing.
Yeah.
We talked about re-recording them.
Re-recording
So
them.
what kind of music do you write? Okay, I have multiple part question. What kind of music do you write now when you're just fooling around? And is it similar or the same or evolved from what you used to write?
The theme, apparently I had a lot of angst in my 20s, and
don't we all?
I had a lot of romantic sorrow in my 20s, so a lot of the songs reflected that. Then there was a period of time where there was some storytelling songs, one called Darkness of the Moon.
Okay.
That told stories about three people and the different courses of their lives. We huddle close together in the darkness of the moon, smoke our cigarettes and listen to some tunes, and then you know,
Rhymes.
Nice imagery. Mm-hmm.
yeah, and it told the story about these three different people who went three different directions. And then I wrote then more recently like a novelty, not even a novelty song. I wrote a country song about poker.
Oh, poker, and you
Okay.
did one of Corona too, or something.
Oh yeah, that was just for fun. But
Yeah, that was actually
but the
pretty good.
country song about poker, all in, I think, in the right hands of some country star,
Take it down to Nashville.
Could be a thing.
could be a
Could
hit.
flourish.
It would, yeah.
Nice.
So it,
All right, next stop.
It depends
Right.
on what depends on
Let's
my
take this
mood.
podcast on the road.
Depends on my mood. So yeah, I've wrote a song about my daughter. Mm-hmm. Then I wrote that when she was like 5 years old, and I always said that if she got married, I would play it at her wedding.
Aw.
But I doubt that I could get through it.
How old is she now?
She's 40.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's 40, and she's not married yet. She's had the current boyfriend. You'll go through this, especially with your daughter.
Okay.
You'll go through this. This is the first boyfriend I've liked in like
Oh, well, congratulations.
15 years.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. I like that.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed you'll get to
Yeah,
sing that
yeah,
song sometime.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I'm hoping.
Or not, if maybe they just want to be partners. That's cool too.
That's fine too. I said, you know, up to this point, the best man in her life was her gay friend Mike, and I said, you know what? If you and Mike got married, you have my complete and total blessing, because out of all the men in your life in the last 20 years, that's the one that stood. That's the one that stood by you and never left you. And when things were hard, he was there. So he was, you know, I love that kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I said, yeah, if you ended up marrying Mike, I'd be fine with it. You know, if you don't want any kids, okay, that's not an issue.
Right.
You know, unless you want to adopt, whatever.
partnership.
I'm just saying, my daughter's a very strong, forward-thinking. She went to New York when she was in college. 1 semester at Otterbein, and then up to New York, and then she became a New Yorker. She stayed there, and good and bad. She's developed kind of a very tough code of cynicism that happens by living in New York, which I think you need just to survive up there.
Yeah. Like the hard candy shell.
Yeah, she's got the hard candy shell, but she's
Right.
also, much like you, a very talented musician. She writes great music. She's written
does have some cool songs.
she's written some fucking awesome songs, and I wish that she would get back to that. Right now, she's running. Trashete could play in New York City
At her
Okay,
bar, yeah.
at Arlene's Grocery.
Oh, cool.
Arlene's Grocery. She's the general manager of Arlene's Grocery up in New York. It's a rock and roll club,
Oh, nice.
and she said,
Threw me off. The name threw me off. I was like,
"Yeah,
the
right,
store?
right."
You know?
No,
So he
Arlene's
knows a
Grocery.
gal. He knows a gal.
I know the girl. I know the girl.
All right.
Yeah. So that's what she's doing now. She's running a rock and roll club.
Cool. Well, we'd love to play there. Let's do a weekend tour.
Yeah, right? Be fun.
Yeah.
Be fun. You got lost track. Oh, we were talking about your music. The
Yeah.
music, what inspired you. So,
Oh, cool. One sec. I
yeah.
am freezing. Can I grab my sweatshirt out of my car? I'm sorry.
yeah.
I'm gonna start
you-
shivering.
Are you okay with just putting something around you
Oh,
that
yeah.
that
If
I
you
can?
have something,
yeah,
yeah.
I do.
As long as it's not stinky and weird.
Where's it going? Yeah.
It is gonna be.
Yeah. Did you say stinky and weird or sticky and weird?
Well, I said stinky, but also sticky is not my favorite thing.
Look at
Yeah,
that.
thank you.
Oh,
Very chivalrous of me to provide
Thank
a
you so
sweater.
much.
we're
Oh,
at 55.
She's covering up her tats.
okay.
Very chivalrous. My
Would you
mother
like
always said,
Hold
be
the one
polite.
out, or
Huh?
there's one there. Do you like me to hold it out?
I like the sheer tattoo. You gotta have the sheer tattoo.
I was going to ask
one?
about the tattoos
Yeah.
because I want one. I
Yeah?
still haven't gotten one.
Get one. What's stopping you?
Nothing. Just once again, motivation and
Yeah, I would have a lot more if two things. If I were much quicker decision maker,
right.
and if they were less expensive.
They're expensive.
Yeah, that's the other
You're,
thing.
you're invested, $100 to $300 depending what
Well,
you want.
I
That's
think
another
I
thing
can
I
get
would do
one-
with that genie money. Is
I
I
can
just
get
be
one done
tattooed
for
everywhere.
free. If we have a tattoo artist on the show, I think I could just get one done.
Yes.
And do the tattoo on the podcast. That's a no-brainer.
You got
Yeah.
a guy or a gal? You got one? You know, no?
All mine were done by different people.
Different people?
Yeah. So my husband has a guy that he's very loyal to. Jack is his name.
And my
He
daughter-
specializes in black and white. If
Okay.
You,
Oh,
you
yeah.
go.
See
You like
that
black
there.
and white?
That's perfect.
There you go.
His name is Jack, like your favorite drink.
Yeah,
There you go.
black and white would be perfect for me. All I want is the chemical equation for whiskey.
okay.
Okay.
That's all.
Sounds
Real-
easy.
It sounds real easy. Yeah, just want it to look cool.
Mm-hmm.
And my daughter says, "Come to New York," and she's got a guy that would do it because my
Got a
daughter's
guy.
all tatted up.
Cool.
But,
That's a long way to go for a tattoo.
I know, but it's New York. I can visit my daughter and get
He
a
was-
tattoo.
Yeah, maybe it's more like a commemorative.
Yeah,
Some
yeah.
people get, I don't know, mugs, spoons,
Yeah.
whatever the hell you get.
she's
Get a
more
tattoo.
tatted. She's more tatted up than
Magnets the shape of the state.
Or a jailhouse tattoo.
she's more tatted up than I realized. Yeah, over the years.
That's probably a good thing.
Huh? What?
She's more tatted than.
than I realized. Yeah. Well, no. I mean, even on her arms. 'Cause,
Oh, okay.
She wears the long sleeves, like, because she got her first tattoo when she was like, I think like 15 or 16 years old.
Oh, how did she get that?
Her
Really?
mom let her get it.
Oh.
Her mom signed off on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they would even
I know.
do it. They must have said she was 17. Or,
Something. There was something. Maybe she was 17, but
crazy.
she was, yeah, and I.
Yeah, so my daughter, she wanted to get her ears pierced this past weekend, and you can go to Claire's at the mall, like the rite of passage of every young girl.
Right.
And I thought, well, we should probably go to like a piercing studio instead of going to trust a teenager with a
With a gun.
piercing gun.
It's
yeah,
Spencer's.
right. So I did look up, I think Evolved. I looked up, and it was like, yes, we will do minors, but you have to have, and they listed all the documentation to prove that you're the legal parent, and you have to.
He's
So
like, fuck this, I'll go
Yeah.
to, I'll go to Claire's.
It sounds like a pain in the ass. So we ended up at Claire's.
My
Yeah.
ex-wife must have done that because my ex-wife had tattoos as well. So she, sure, I got mine when
Yeah.
I was whatever age. You can get yours.
Yeah.
And I just remember flipping out, and I saw it for the first time down in Florida when she reached up in the cabinet at my sister's house, and she reached up in her shirt went up just a little bit. It was hidden, and I go, "What the hell is that?"
Oh.
You're gonna have a lot of "what the hell is that" moments.
I
Now, what
might,
the-
or I might not. I
Well, you
don't
might
know.
not. Well, what type of?
We're
what type
fine
of-
with tattoos.
What type of daughter is Lola?
Like the best type, I guess.
Right?
She's just super. I mean,
Funny.
she's 7.
She's 7, but
So I'm-
First
but-
grade,
Treasuring it.
kindergarten.
Yeah,
But you
she'll
see
be
it.
graduating first grade.
You
first
see
grade.
it. You see that.
Yes.
You can. It's interesting. You see what they're going to be, and,
Yeah.
and or at least what path they could go on.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I've noticed this. They get diverted and
Mm.
they go different directions.
The influence of
Yes,
friends
the
or
influence
trends
of friends,
or
family, a life in general. There's a lot of things that
Yeah.
can move them down different paths. But right
probably
now,
true for all of us.
you're seeing something. You're seeing. Oh God, I hope she's this way all the time.
Yes. Oh, she's so great. She's just so sweet and loving and just kind. She's actually kind to other kids when a lot of other kids are assholes.
That's huge right now.
Kids are shitty.
That's huge. That's huge, right? To
Yeah.
have compassion and empathy. Mm-hmm. Something that is, I think, continues to be lost in this world.
Yeah. Dying art.
Yeah, truly.
Yeah.
I've told him 1,000 times. It saddens me to see the amount of empathy that continues to just drain away in this world.
Yeah.
It frightens me and it distresses me,
Mm-hmm.
and I try to.
Why I don't get on social media as much as I
Right.
used to.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So let me talk. Let's wrap
Yeah, we
up.
sound like a bunch of cranky old fuckers.
Yeah. These kids on social media.
No, we're not. No, that's just it though. See, but see if you respect
you're
that
right,
opinion.
you're right, you're right.
You're just all right, whatever, boomer. I get it.
Okay, boomer.
Fucking hate
Oh, are you a
that.
boomer?
Yeah, I'm a boomer. Of course, I'm a boomer.
I didn't think
I
about
have
it.
an AARP duffel bag. What the hell? Yes, I'm a boomer.
Embroidered.
Are you kidding me? Actually, yes.
Okay, well, you're cooler than the average boomer.
Yeah, I think I am. There ought to be like a level of boomer.
In between, yeah.
You're boomer like.
Yeah, because isn't
boomer
it
light or
how
boomer-
many years? Like how many years spans the boomer? Know what I mean?
44 to 45 to
I think it's
64.
the more. It's the most generous of.
The widest gap.
Yeah, because I was born in 1959.
Yeah,
Okay.
because it was after World War II
Yeah.
when the baby boom happened, so it was like 46 to 62. Or
Exactly, 46 to 64. A quick Google search has revealed.
I don't think myself as a boomer. I was born in 64,
Well,
late 64.
And the same with
See,
me is that they say I'm a millennial, but I don't feel it.
You always like push over to the next one.
So does it go boomer and then Gen X, or is there anything in between?
No, but it was boomer then
Gen X, then millennial, then Gen Z.
Oh,
Gen
okay.
Z.
And I'm a millennial, but
But you hang around with a boomer,
Yeah, but
so
I equate more with the Gen X or boomers than
You got a boomer soul.
You know. That's right.
I'm Gen X, but I have the worst memory, so I don't remember much before like a certain time. So sometimes I feel more like a millennial because I don't remember not having technology. You know,
Right.
like I remember, like I mentioned, the typewriter having. I kind of remember like typewriters and things, but yeah, just I don't know, being able to email at least.
Yeah. So you never worked a typewriter? You never.
I did, yeah, but I had like a word processor.
Not the same.
It was like the predecessor to the computer. I know.
There's
yeah.
a joy into slowly tapping out the
Yeah.
letters, and the thought process is slower,
Uh-huh.
and you take your time. Whenever I write on the computer, I tend to write faster, but not necessarily better.
I kind of feel like I remember. So I did have to take typing class, or maybe like I think I had an old typewriter of my mom's or something that I would practice on. But I liked the percussion of it.
Right.
Just type
right.
as fast as I
The
can. It makes
rhythm.
a lot of noise.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
beautiful rhythm to it. It's a romantic thing. Like like I like you said you don't like paper.
no.
I like paper. I like books. I like pages.
It's tactile.
It's tactile. It's very
But,
tactile. So okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting note.
My sister's the same way. Neither of us can like stand to touch paper, and like the like coated paper, like the business card. That's fine. On like a glossy magazine, that's cool.
Okay.
But like the more uncoated it gets, so like the bottom of the coating scale would be like a paper bag or like a newsprint.
yeah.
You know that
They
like
freak out about that?
oh, it almost feels like dusty.
But it doesn't apply to
It's
tissues or
making me-
toilet paper.
no.
My wife's the same way with
That'll be bad.
cotton balls.
Yeah, a lot of people say cotton balls.
Cotton.
Like you know how nails on a chalkboard makes you feel like
Right,
ugh.
right.
That's how touching paper makes me feel. It's the thought of it. I don't know.
Interesting.
My sister, my daughter, same.
So your daughter has
Must be
developed
genetic.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, or I don't, or does
the
she just, is
influence.
it learned? Yeah, I don't know.
that can happen too. So where's Trashete?
swipe.
Where's Trashete right now? Where's Trashete right now in the music world? I mean, are you gigging?
Yeah.
Or what'd you do during COVID?
Okay, so COVID sucked for everybody, and I feel like it drained my creativity. Like I don't think I've honestly written a whole song since COVID, and prior to that, I would write.
Dude, I'm with you, man.
Yeah, I would write all the time. Like I would, if I didn't write a full song necessarily, I'd have at least an idea that I recorded every week. But yeah, just kind of like, I don't know. Everybody was in a COVID funk, right?
No,
Which is how I ended up joining a cover band because Trashete did not play.
Thank you. I was going to bring up the cover band before we left
Yeah.
because you say it with not disdain, but
Oh no.
no, you like being in the cover band.
I've always been super hipster about like, oh no,
Right.
I don't play covers. I don't play originals unless it's a deep cut in the style of my original band. But I've just always been super hipster. I don't know why.
That's right.
That's just it. I don't know. But, covers are fun. But so, yeah, Trashete did not play because one of my bandmates in particular, she's a teacher, had to be around kids. It was just very COVID careful, so we didn't even practice. We practiced a couple times outdoors, but we were just, we weren't gigging, weren't being around a lot of people. And it was just killing me not to play music. I didn't even realize until somebody I knew from high school called and was like, hey, do you want to join my cover band? And he asked if I wanted to play keys, which made me go like, oh yeah, this guy doesn't even know me from the last 10 years. He's like,
that's
I
awesome.
haven't played keys in a band since circa, I don't know, 2008 or something.
I haven't heard anybody use the word circa either.
Never?
No, in about 10 or 20 years.
Oh, it's
So,
a good word.
It's a good word. Circa.
Yeah, approx. But anyway, yeah. So he asked if I wanted to be in a cover band, and I was like, shit, yeah, that's exactly what I fucking want. I've been missing playing music so much. Yes, I'll be in your cover band.
So you're in both bands right now?
Yeah.
What's the cover band's name?
It's called Vandalay Industries.
Yeah.
Sounds like you understand the reference.
Seinfeld, is it?
Yes, Seinfeld. Yes, yeah. So it's 90s rock.
Okay, cool.
But TRASHETE, we are starting to gig again. And we're playing at ComFest this year, which I'm very excited about.
That's awesome.
Yes, 9 p.m. on the Bozo stage.
Okay,
on
so
Friday
prime
night.
time.
Yeah, prime time. June 24th, I think.
June
is the
20th.
Friday.
Yeah,
Thank you.
ComFest is good.
Yeah, we played ComFest many years before.
Yeah, mark it down.
We
ComFest
played-
is going to be huge
I
this
know.
year.
Yeah, I haven't been for
Huge.
several years.
Yeah, we've played the
Huge.
main stage before. We've played during the day before. We've played during the night before on the off-ramp stage, but we've never played at night on the main stage.
Nice. That's cool.
We're pretty excited. Yeah.
Yeah, you should be.
Yeah.
That's going to
So,
be awesome. How long of a show?
I think 35 minutes. is the
35
set
minutes.
length. Yeah.
So you're going to play the hits?
Yeah. playing all the hits.
No covers.
All the hits.
Yeah. No, actually, we're just doing straight up covers.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
No, we're not doing any covers.
you're not.
We might do a cover.
So how often do you guys get together and practice or rehearse or jam, whatever you want to call it?
Yeah. So usually.
I don't know. I mean,
I know.
I don't know when a band
Jam,
gets, how often
man.
does a band? It's Can you imagine if we didn't do radio every day? We'd be stale. Yet the band's got to get together and do something every once in a while.
Oh yeah. We try for once a week, and shit gets in the way, family shit, COVID shit. Somebody has COVID right now, all that. So we try for once a week. So it's once a week, once every other week. Something like that.
You got to keep everything loose and smooth and
Yeah,
oiled.
we were a little rusty after that
Right.
couple year break from COVID.
We take a couple weeks off from the podcast. Well, this is the first. We did take a couple weeks off the podcast, which is why I was stumbling in the beginning because it was the first one in 2 weeks. Normally, we try to do one every week.
I didn't think anything of it.
And you shouldn't because
How would I know?
I never claimed to be a professional. When I take
It's our job.
Wait, is-
But John and I are. We clean him up and make him sound.
Okay.
yeah,
I mean, aren't you like a DJ for your job? Don't worry about it.
I'm a morning show. I'm a morning show host.
Okay.
Not a DJ.
Okay, so tell me the difference
Between what?
Like, so a DJ, disc jockey, because you pick the songs or whatever.
No, I don't pick the songs.
So that's the difference between a morning show
That's a program
host is
director.
the-
Program
okay.
director picks the music. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You have no say over what song
Not
is
a
on next,
word.
just announcing it.
No, it would be entirely
sucks.
different if we did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't
that's
you wish you did?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, sure.
That's
yeah.
my pleasure when
Yeah.
I
would
we
actually
keep it the same, but
This
every
is
once in a while
a
we
huge
get
compliment to
push
him.
Yeah.
If the morning show had a say on the music, I would let him pick the music because I trust his taste and his judgment,
Nice.
and I'd be all right with it.
That's a good compliment.
Yeah.
Who's your
good
program
compliment.
director, perhaps?
I very seldomly let other people pick the music in the car. So.
Really?
That's a big compliment.
You control that,
Except my daughter, only because she'll throw a tantrum if I don't.
and we don't want to.
She has good taste,
no,
though.
no.
Yeah, no. So we went to, I don't know, I said earlier she was cool. Here's an illustration. We went to, like, a kids thing. It was
Kids
like
Bop or something.
No, it was the Harvest Fest or something in Bexley. There was, like, I don't know, trick-or-treating, something, balloons, magic shows.
I don't know.
You know.
Costumes.
Yeah, his kid stuff. There was a guy playing an acoustic guitar, and he was playing, kid songs like Old MacDonald or whatever. I think my daughter I'm not even sure she was 5. She might have only been 4 or 5. And we sat down, and we were eating pizza, and I was like, you want to go listen to the band? And she was like, no, that's lame. Can he play Ramones? I was like, he should.
That's my kid. That's my kid.
That's my girl.
That's my girl. Wow.
So I don't mind
Ramones.
letting her pick the music, I guess.
The
But
Ramones. She mentioned the Ramones at 5.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I know.
She's got a nice long interesting road ahead.
I've
of
had
her.
a lot of proud moments, but that one stands out.
That's huge.
high school.
Yeah, that's huge.
She's on the right track.
All right, so I mean, we're recording this podcast on the last day of May. So when this comes out next week, there'll be plenty of time for people to know that Trashete is going to be at ComFest.
Yes.
Where else can they find out where Trashete is if they wanted to check out the music like we're going to, and we're going to include some in our
Yeah, you
podcast
can follow
as
us
well.
on the socials. So you can go to facebook.com/Trashete or soundcloud.com/Trashete.
Is it spelled like Machete?
Like
T-I-R-A?
machete, but
Yeah.
trash.
Okay, but trash.
TRACHETE.
H-E-T-E. Okay.
Yeah, follow us on Facebook. That's the quickest place to put shows. So,
Pretty cool. Thanks.
Yeah.
I hope you had
thank
fun. Hope you enjoyed
I'm
the
sure we
whiskey.
will.
The
I
guest
did.
bottle has been the
This is good.
Willet Pot Still
It's good.
bourbon.
I decided I really like it.
You really like it?
Yeah.
You know what? I've always noticed that no matter what the whiskey is, after
really
a
like
couple
it.
sips, you really like it. You really
Have
like
an easy
it.
day. It's a cheap
He
day.
likes it. He really likes
Fuck
it.
those guys with beards and weird mustaches that don't like
No,
this
there
shit.
The
is-
Mixennials?
I almost no. I
Wait,
get
what
it.
is
There's,
that?
there's
the Mixennials?
Yeah,
Well,
explain
they're
the whole-
millennials who think they know bourbon. So I
Okay.
call them Mixennials because
Okay.
they don't know what they're.
they got these mustaches like
And
this.
do they call themselves mixologists?
No, they
and
don't.
Like,
I totally call them the Mixennials.
okay.
Oh, it's too earthy.
it
It's
is
too
earthy.
grainy.
It's
Shut
earthy.
up. Shut up and drink it.
It tastes like a beet.
I think people who call themselves mixologists are kind of cheesy.
Oh, well,
we have
see,
friends that
there's a difference of opinion there.
That's
It's
cool.
like it's because
You guys
we
all
have,
just went,
no, because-
simultaneously.
no, because we have
was
some
cute.
people that we have some bartender friends that like to be called bartenders. You know, and that's what I do. I make whiskeys. I just happen because now the craft cocktail craze is so crazy that people call me a
Right.
mixologist. And there's some people that like the elevated status of
Yeah.
mixologist. I guess it all depends
Yeah.
on where you're at in life and how you want to feel. You know,
They want to feel fancy.
yeah, you want to feel better about yourself. I'm a
Yeah.
mixologist. It's like
I only
it's-
drink
it-
high class cocktails.
Yeah, it's like
if
when
my
people say-
cocktail's less
I don't
than
get
$15
offended when people
on
say,
a
"Oh,
order.
you're a morning DJ."
They've been
I always
studied.
jokingly say, "No, I'm a morning show host." Bullshit. I'm a DJ. I'm a morning show DJ.
Well, we just covered that.
Katy
I know.
Perry,
I'm saying.
come
I'm
on.
saying. I'm saying I didn't take offense to it.
Your personality.
Yeah, that was something that Mark. You're a morning show personality. Am I? Well, maybe I should get one.
You
then.
do have a personality.
Yeah, maybe
yeah,
I should get a personality if that's what you really want me to do in the morning.
Well, cheers to personalities. Thanks for
Yeah,
having me.
yeah, thank
cheers
you
to
for
this
being with
delicious
us.
whiskey. Another clinky clank.
Here's good luck in the future. Good luck with
Thank
Lola,
you.
and good luck with your husband's new. What'd you call it in the text message? Solopreneur.
Solopreneur. Yeah.
Solopreneur.
Yeah.
Cool word.
Well, thanks.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll
Could be a
be
character in Star Wars.
I think so.
like it.
Solopreneur.
Wars.
They were talking Star Wars before he got here.
That should be a thing, like a, like a spoof movie or like a.
Han-
Maybe not even
off of Han
spoof.
Solo.
Something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Ben Stiller could produce that.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
Continued success. Thank you for being here on our 200th bottle. Our guest has been Amee Belwanzo. The band is Trashete. The cover band is Vandalay Industries.
yes, we'll be at Park Street Tavern in a couple weeks.
Who's gigging more, Vandalay or Trashete?
Vandalay?
Vandalay, yeah, because
you
people
do cover
want to hear the
bands.
covers.
You probably get a paycheck from that.
Probably
early.
will.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
it
So,
is.
can you-
They gave me money at the end. I was like,
Yeah.
what?
What? To pay to do this? How unusual.
I know.
That's all right, as long as you're doing what you love and
Yes.
love what you do, right?
Exactly.
That's why we do the podcast. We're not getting rich doing this podcast. In fact, it's costing us money.
That's right.
So
Pay the woman.
It's a hobby. I always
you
say,
go.
I like to snowboard a lot, and nobody's paying me. I sure am paying a lot to get on that lift.
I understand. But
It's worth it.
yeah, I'm not going to get it from here. Sorry, but thank you so much again. The guest bottle, the Willet Pot Still Bourbon. Can't do the podcast without Greg Hansberry on the audio side. John Whitney, there's the big thumb on the video side. Amee Belwanzo on the guest side. I am your host, Dino Tripodis. Until bottle 201, see ya.